Welcome to the Mind, Body, Nutrition, Wellness series, where I will share all about what true wellness means and how to have a healthy relationship with food that is going to support your mind and body as you develop and will support you through your young adult life and for years to come. In today's episode of the series, I'm going to talk all about what the heck diet culture is, but first, let me introduce myself. My name is Taylor, and I'm a registered dietitian and mindful eating expert who takes a non-diet approach to healthy eating. I've always had a passion for food since I was young, but there was a time in my life when food and I didn't get along so well. From middle school through college, I fought my hunger, food, and hated on my body constantly. I worried how the food I ate would impact the way my body looked, and I only felt good about myself when I ate small amounts of food like salads and fruit. But if I strayed outside of that or ate too much, it always turned into an out of control binge session that left me feeling physically horrible and mentally bad and guilty for what I had done, vowing never to have that food again. Ultimately, I was stuck in what I refer to as the diet cycle, which is an endless cycle of being good with food, allowing myself to be lenient as a reward for being good, and then going overboard and then back to restricting all over again. It was a chaotic cycle I didn't know how to break, and a cycle that added way more stress to my life because food was a constant and mostly negative thought in it. But I finally broke this cycle, not by figuring out the secret to dieting, but by letting go of diets and food rules in the first place. So, this would be a great place to explain what the heck diet culture is. Diet culture is quite literally everywhere and can be seen in many parts of our everyday lives. It's based on the belief that thinness equals health and promotes misinformation about food and our bodies, as well as the belief that our worth is based on our body shape and size. It also creates shame and guilt around our eating choices, promotes low calorie over nourishing foods, hates on any food that isn't clean, and disconnects you from what your body really wants and needs. So here's some more examples of where we can see diet culture in our everyday lives. Social media and media is huge right now, and common trends like what I eat in a day videos seem harmless at first, but we often compare ourselves to other people on the internet without knowing the full story or really questioning if what we are comparing ourselves to is what's truly best for us. That's why seeing trends like what I eat in a day videos is a part of diet culture because it can influence the way you think you're supposed to eat in order to look or feel or act like a certain person that eats that exact same way and is sharing that. And any supplements or detox drinks that you might see on social media or media that promise to help you lose weight are also a part of diet culture. There is no magic pill or shake that will automatically help you lose weight. It's all about the habits you create, as well as other factors like genetics, hormones, stress, and so much more. You also don't need to waste any money on a detox drink or tea because your kidneys and liver detox your system every single day for free. And diet culture likes to throw the word detox or cleanse on something basically just to make you go to the bathroom and can even put you at risk for dehydration if you're not careful in order to profit off of you. So save your money and let your kidneys and liver work their magic for free. Also, any fad diets you might see promoted, like intermittent fasting, keto, 75 hard. I've seen so many influencers on TikTok promoting trends like these. And I'm not hating on these influencers. They have every right to do what they think is best for them. But at the end of the day, all these trends are diets. And as we will talk about in another episodes, diets typically don't work out in the long run and often backfire in many ways. The point is, if you're scrolling through any type of social media or watching TV, you're likely going to be exposed to this type of content at some point in a variety of different ways. And to note, we can also see these type of promotions in magazines at the grocery store too, and just out in everyday life. And finally, another place that is pretty common to see diet culture is in apps. So a huge example of this is MyFitnessPal. And while this is also a relatively harmless app at first, it can turn into an obsession and also turn you away from your body's natural hunger cues. Your body uses calories as energy to help you think, focus in school, do your homework, play sports, hang out with friends, and even sleep. And your body's energy needs change day to day depending on different factors like how active you are, your hormones, how you slept, and more. And this is where MyFitnessPal can become harmful. It gives you a general estimate of your body's needs based on height and weight, but it doesn't take into account your day to day life or know exactly how much your body truly needs each day. If you feel the need to enter every bite of food you take into MyFitnessPal and won't let yourself eat any more than that, any more than what it allows, even if you're hungry, this can cause a lot of stress and cause you to develop a disordered relationship with food. Again, MyFitnessPal can be harmless, but it also is a product of diet culture, so definitely has the potential to be harmful. You can even encounter diet culture from your loved ones. There's plenty of messages out there that happen to come from friends, family, or maybe even school. You might hear, "Are you really going to eat all of that?" Or, "You're eating again?" Or maybe you're eating something and someone comments, "Oh, I can't have that because it's so bad for me." Or maybe you learn to finish everything on your plate because that is wasteful if you don't. All these comments are likely going to make you feel shame or guilt or not trust your body and continue eating past fullness so that you are turning away from your own body's true needs and not really sure how to trust them. And these comments will likely have nothing to do with you and all to do with the person who commented on your relationship with food. It all has to do with their own relationship with food. And this is also another sign of diet culture because it stems from a place of restriction and brings feelings of guilt and shame to your eating habits. The bottom line, diet culture is harmful and can be found in many different environments and can come in all different forms. So why is diet culture so harmful? The messages we receive from diet culture make us feel like we need to look, act, and be a certain way to fit in or be accepted. You also don't have to be on a diet to be harmed by diet culture. The pressure we feel to fit in can lead to a lot of harmful consequences, including disordered eating patterns because diet culture encourages restrictive eating and makes us feel guilty for eating certain foods. Because of this, we tend to create negative relationships with food, which can lead to disordered eating patterns such as binge eating, purging, and yo-yo dieting. The constant emphasis on diet culture that is placed on weight loss can also lead to body dissatisfaction and low self-esteem, especially for anyone who does not fit into the cultural norms for beauty and body size. And diet culture can also lead to a negative relationship with food because it brings feelings of guilt and shame around food choices and eating habits. And it also leads to constant thoughts about food and disconnects you from listening to your hunger and fullness cues. And the focus on weight loss and body size in diet culture can really distract us from taking time to focus on other important aspects of health, such as stress management, sleep, and physical activity, or basic necessities like eating enough food, drinking enough water, eating fruits and vegetables, and so on. And diet culture often portrays exercise as a punishment for eating certain foods or for not meeting certain body size goals. For example, diet culture says you should make up if you have something like a cookie by jogging for an hour. This negative relationship with exercise can result in a lack of enjoyment in physical activity and a lack of motivation to engage in it regularly. And finally, diet culture can lead to avoiding being social or enjoying time with others. It really results in feelings of isolation and can take the enjoyment out of social activities since you might start avoiding social events centered around food that make you feel shame and guilt for eating in front of others. Because diet culture is so harmful, I want to share how you can keep it out of your own life. In order to keep diet culture from interfering with your own life, it's important to take a step back from the harmful beliefs and practices that have been instilled in us. Refocus on self-care and body neutrality. This process starts with self-compassion by treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a close friend. Remind yourself that diets don't work and your worth isn't determined by your weight or appearance. You should start trusting yourself again and really rely on your body's hunger and fullness cues rather than following strict diet rules. And make sure to surround yourself with positive, body inclusive communities that embrace body diversity and support you regardless of your weight. The bottom line, breaking free from diet culture is challenging but rewarding. And remember, there's no one size fits all approach to health, and working with an anti-diet dietitian can help you develop a healthy relationship with food and your body and finally ditch diet culture once and for all. And I've witnessed the time and joy dieting can take from my own life and others too, which is why it's my mission to help those who have struggled for years with food guilt and jumping from one diet to the next, aka yo-yo dieting, break free and create realistic eating habits they can feel confident in for good. So follow along the Mind Body Wellness series, and up next, I'll be sharing why diets don't work and why you don't really need to be following and what you can do instead so you can take a health at every size approach to eating. And feel free to follow along my social media pages for more anti-diet content that will help you create a healthy relationship with food for life. And I'll see you in the next episode of the Mind Body Nutrition Wellness series.